things and flowers. Just bees and things and flowers. Just bees and things and flowers. Yeah. Just bees and things and flowers. Yeah. My life, my life, my life, my life.
Excellent.
Excellent. I'm in the presence of Omar. Oh my God.
I'm in the presence of Claudio. What the hell?
So I have to say, firstly, what an honor to have you here and what an honor to know you and to share music with you. I thought of explaining a little bit because your CV is so big, it's scary. Like, I think that any of the collaborations that you had in your career would make my CV like a one-liner. Much shorter CV.
Right, okay.
I mean, you have worked with Lamont Dozier. You have worked with Angie Stone, with Robert Glasper. You have a track out with Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. I do pinch myself sometimes when I think about the catalogue, which is quite extensive. I've seen a few blogs and stuff where people have put compilations together of my music, and it's quite long. I mean, they even like put maybe 60 songs, and that's like 3.5 hours. I saw a guy did his thing, that was maybe 6 hours, but that's still not the whole catalogue, you know, in terms of what I've done and then what I've done for other people as well. Because I do features as well, so yeah, it is quite vast. But yeah, 40 years this year, you know. So
wow.
Yeah, my first single was out 1985.
1985. Wow. Because you know, for the people who don't know, I mean, Omar is. I mean, if anyone told me back when I was doing cover bands in Italy, you know, covering your music, and we were losing our minds because it was so fresh. Right, this stuff that was coming from the UK, you know, Giles Peterson and
Norman J.
Yeah. There was such a bubbly time for UK soul, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about. You know what I want to do? Let's talk about the present first, and then let's go back.
Okay. All right.
Because the reason why we are having this interview is because I had the honor of putting my dirty little hands on your new album, right?
Yes, Brighter the Days.
Brighter the Days.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's your 9th album, isn't it?
9th studio album, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and thank you for doing that, by the way, because it sounds mint. It's properly mint. That was the last bit of the cherry that we needed to put on the cake. But yeah, I'm still here making the music. I'm really happy with this latest production as well, because you know, it's not easy coming up with these things, especially when you finish one project and you put your all into that. You kind of think, what are you going to do next? But somehow, some way, I've managed to work with just the right amount of people to put it together.
You know what? Let's play a little bit of it. So this is the way the album starts.
After school. Have you got a list?
Is that your daughters underneath?
Those are my daughters. The significance of that is because of, you know, the whole album is about when we were going through the pandemic, and everything was depressing. There was nobody on the streets. You couldn't mingle. You couldn't socialize. But I always knew there was going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. There was something better to look forward to. And it just worked out that when I was putting the music together, I just heard that melody that my girls are singing, and of course I had to pay them. But I just asked them to sing it for me, and now I understand the significance of having them do that, because they are my world. They are my reason. They're my mañana. They're my reason for living. You know what I mean? That kind of significance, which just made sense as well. I get teary-eyed just thinking about them. You know, that kind of thing you have for your kids. So, yeah, it's beautiful. But the chords, let me tell you, that's John Barry.
Yeah.
And where I got it from, he wrote a piece called 007 and Counting.
Yeah.
I was actually looking for a piece by Henry Mancini called Illusion. We can come back to that because that's significant for another track. But I was looking for this track because I just loved the strings on this.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember the name of it. So I was just searching, and I thought it was John Barry. And then I came across this thing, the 007 and Counting, and I was like, oh my God. I was up at 1 o'clock in the morning, vibing off this tune. I did an Instagram live as well, and just the response from the people as well from what I was singing just showed me that there was something in this, and to explore it further.
I also just realized that this is the first track. So, in essence, the first notes that are being played from your album come from my hands.
Yes.
Do they not?
Right, yes. Well, yeah, yes, exactly. So, yeah, you replayed the
orchestration.
Orchestration.
Yeah.
And I had a violinist called Jonathan Hill.
Yeah,
We played them again, so because we didn't want to do the sampling thing and have to worry about that. You know what I mean? So it's the mixture of the two. I had the horns played again. My friend Nicole Thompson. We basically recreated the whole thing. But thank you for that as well.
No, it's amazing. I mean, because I know that you are very careful what you put in your music, and you have your own team. You got your brother.
Yes.
And I mean that team has been consistently delivering amazing stuff for the best part of 4 decades.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I remember when Greg told me of the problem, and I thought, you know, I can try and recreate it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was doubtful. You were doubtful.
Yeah.
But we said, you know what? Let's give it a go. Yeah. Hey, Omar. Hi, everyone. So, I'm without a voice. I've been a little bit ill. So I've been reconstructing the sample. The original sample goes like this. Right? So what I've done is I reconstructed every voice of it. Like... Same line with the tremolo, because there is a little bit of tremolo in that thing. This is another line, another line. So now we're going to A-B directly against the original. My mix. Original. Then when that happened, basically you opened up again and said, you know what, it's time to retouch this arrangement.
Yeah.
And then you started playing again and
well, you know what it's like when you do something and you're used to that. That's how I am. I'm kind of a bit stubborn. That's how I've heard it this whole time. That's how I recorded it. You know, when you first did the demos. But then when you did what you had to do, and I thought, oh, actually, it's not too bad. And then, you know, that just made me go, all right, well, let's do it again.
Absolutely. I mean, that is completely normal. I have that when I am an artist for myself. I'm lucky to have a team because I can bounce ideas off of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Mix comes because I was mixing and mastering because I had become good at it. Labels would sometimes just ask me to do the mixing and the mastering, right?
Yeah.
But all artists have this thing. They've been working on the material, listening to it for months, you know, dissecting it. Now they are emotionally attached to it.
Exactly.
To the point that I had created a shirt that said, if you love the demo, print the effing demo.
That is spot on. Absolutely spot on.
You know, and sometimes we did, you know, back in the day, sometimes we did press the demo and it went better than the full production,
Than the full,
you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you try to sanitize things too much.
It changes the whole aspect of the production, for sure. Yeah.
So I want to play on this album. We have some major collaborations here. We have My God, Paul Weller, you got this?
Yeah, Paul is a friend from way back when. He gave me my first professional gig. I was lucky enough to play percussion for the Star Council on a tour of Japan.
Shut up.
In 1989. Yeah.
Hold on a second. You played percussion with Style Council as a professional
Yeah. I
percussionist?
had my own percussion tech, set everything up for me and all that. I mean, we went to Osaka, Tokyo, a few places that we did. And we ended up doing a concert at the Royal Albert Hall as well in 89. This was sort of like such an experience. And then from then, we kind of kept in contact, but not really fully. And then I saw my friend Max Beasley, who'd been playing with him for ages. And I was like, Max, where's he? I want to go and see him. I went to see a concert of his, which blew my mind. And then we just got talking. I said, man, we should do some stuff together. So he said, yeah, come to the studio, Black Barn Studio.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, from then, that guy is the most humblest superstar that I can think of. You know what I mean? He just let me use the studio, and that really did help with the production of the album. A lot.
Shall we listen to a moment of it?
Sure.
Walk alone on my own, taking time to straighten things on my own.
Dude, sounds amazing, man.
Got no plans,
drums.
Got no
Yeah,
dreams.
Daru Jones.
It's a feeling inside.
Yeah. That's me on the timpani.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah, so you got Daru Jones on drums, Ronnie Foster on organ, yes. Paul Weller as well. I got my mate Jerry playing the bass on this as well. So it's just like I don't even know how I managed to get these people involved. Everybody was just there at the right place, the right time. I love the jam. You know what I mean? The Mod Father, he's the Mod Father for a reason. And I was kind of trying to get a track like that out of him, and he just came up, delivered in spades. We've got another 2 songs as well, but I didn't put them on the album, but I'm saving them for another time to do. There's another one. He's going, man, you need to release that. So watch this space. It's called A Beautiful Life.
You know what's amazing to me? Like there is a tumbao, like a dance to it that's so relaxed and so laid back.
Sure.
There is an example. Let me see.
That's the Gambling Half, Isaac Hayes.
Real strings here, right?
Yeah. Chris Cameron. The Urban Soul Orchestra. Amazing.
But many years I've learned to play the game. Learn to play it well. Getting something out of nothing never works. You got to give to get. Never settling for lesser than I felt feeling. I deserve the Lord. Make my whole career sticking to my principles and what I want. I see greater need. I will always fight the struggle as I live and I breathe. I will always make a hustle. For every step I did take makes me on to better days. This thing called life. This thing called life.
And that is an Italian rhythm section. So it's Francesco Mendelio on drums.
Francesco.
And Marcello Sutero on bass.
Francesco plays with Incognito.
Incognito, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So now this is another of those tracks where you do you so well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like this feel.
B-A-B-Y, stop. You're 5-8.
How?
B-A-B-Y, stop. You're 5-8 mile hard up.
Listen, I was slammed. Against all odds, still stand. Look at me, I feel like I'm the man. Follow my path, living prints in the sand. Got the energy, baby. The doubts and the fear, that's the enemy, baby. This thing deep rooted, it's the melanin, baby. The sound of the...
Now this is a German affair. So the one before was Italian. This is German because I did this in Berlin. The band's called The Swag, and I basically did a halftime show for the basketball game that was going on. And then the next day we went to the studio, we were just jamming. So then I just started. That's what I was doing.
We can do what we want when the time is right, and it's from the break of dawn into the dead of night, floating high in the sky, moving through the clouds. Hold on to me, baby, I won't let you down.
And then the drums, the bass, the keys. I mean, everybody just sat into something really nice. And then I took all that home and then cut it up. I did the trumpets and put the strings on top, and then asked the keyboardist to do some synth work on it as well. But and then Kasaya.
Yeah,
she was there. I mean, I met her before, but she got such a great voice. But we all just happened to be in the same place at the same time in Berlin, and this is that's what we got now.
So my question, like purely as a producer, because I've always been amazed by this. We've played together on the same stage several times. We played together in France, in at the nudist place. Remember?
Yeah. How can I forget?
Bordeaux, Caglioccio.
Caglioccio, Alex M was
with
there.
Alex M
Okay,
was there. It was at the time you had the big hit Simpatico.
That's right.
Dude, let's play Simpatico for a second. Oh my lord. So this is a track that I basically witnessed because Alex M and Fudge, we were really close at the time when you guys did this.
Right.
In fact, I think we were all going to Hong Kong quite a bit, didn't we?
Right, yes, right. Armani Privé.
Armani Privé upstairs.
That's right. That was a different time, man.
It was a different time, man.
Crazy.
Like
Hong
I was
Kong.
flying to Hong Kong like multiple times a year.
Lost my phone in there one time. Moving on.
Moving on. So Simpatico is
right.
this track that
Basically, the first time I went there, that's another thing. So I did the show for them. The beats that they were playing as well, there was something about them that I loved those beats. So they said they could make something like that, and this is what they did.
Oh, that's the market. Yeah, I remember that market.
Right.
Yeah.
Boca Junior's teacher.
I thought it gonna be wise. Ain't nothing to deter me, no. When you get to it,
That's Gecko.
gotta stay
You're a Gecko there.
That's the gecko.
That's the Gecko. That's the Black Club. There was a piano there in the corner.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And Malasimbo. Malasimbo. You know that festival? That's where this, on the beach, that's where we were.
Okay, you see, this is, okay, even if now it's not the same band that played before, now you are using the same groove. It's not ta 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 ta, and it's not ta 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 ta. It's somewhere in between.
That's my brother.
That's
Scratch. Basically, I got the masters from Leon, bless him, rest in peace. He gave me the masters to Rockin' You Eternally. And then Scratch just cut up the strings, did a whole thing with it, and then put the beat on it. And then I put the bass down and whatever extra bits I did, and the harp that Tristan Kate put down. But yeah.
because it's not J Dilla. This is different. There is the J Dilla thing, but this is different.
We're influenced by J Dilla, you know what I mean? But you know, we have to put our own thing on it as well at the same time.
See how you're late there, right? You're sitting right behind. That's the art form, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, my bro, he would say, no, later, man. He just likes it late as possible until it's like almost on the other side. You know what I mean? But it does give a vibe to the music. So, yeah.
So you got Ronnie Foster to play on this one?
Yes, yeah, that was through Greg Borman. Like I said, right people, the right time. You know, I met Daru when I was playing for Pee Wee Ellis. We were doing a tour and he was playing drums for him, and it was like, yeah, you want to play on something?
Just so I know, where can people find the album and when is it out?
It's going to be out on Impressive Collective, BBE Music, June 6th. Yeah. And it's on Bandcamp, and if you go to my website, omarmusic.co.uk, you'll find it there, or BBE Music, or Impressive Collective. Just Google it, Omar, Brighter the Days.
Fantastic. All right. Look, I don't know how you're feeling, but if you're feeling in the mood, we may play something, because, I mean, maybe that could happen. What do you think?
Well, I'm sure we could do something. He says nervously.
So now this is a backing track that I've taken from our gig, the one that we played together for my 50th birthday.
Under the Bridge.
Under the Bridge.
Yeah.
There's nothing close. There's nothing.
So I've removed the vocals, I've removed the piano, and all you need to do is press that sweet button on the RC505.
This
and
one?
It goes, yeah.
Sip a glass of cold champagne wine. The rock that we like on feels divine. And there's no babbling. But we two, ecstasy, the word of the night, ringing in our ears, we've flight, and there's no substitution. There's nothing. I'd love to hear you sing it. There's nothing. no, nothing, no. No one could ever have what we have. There's nothing like this. The lightest conversation has its flow. All communication, don't you know? And I feel quite pretend. We will be, yeah. And there's no substitution for what we have. Oh, what good can have. Tell me why. There's nothing like this. There's nothing like this. There's nothing. No, not even for more. There's nothing like this. There's nothing like this. There's nothing. No, not even from all up. Not there's nothing close. There's nothing.
All right. My man, I love you so much. You have no idea. Thank you for giving me the honor to be here today.
Come on, man. It's like a little playground in here with the keyboards. You're going to let me have a little play later on.
You can play all day, man.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm going to do some research. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm totally in awe of you. When it comes to playing stuff, I'm sat behind you in awe. You understand? Because that's you're just straight on it. You know what you're doing. It's like, you know, it's a joy to watch you work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in awe, bro. Let me tell you that straight away.
Thank you so much, man.
Come on.
So you play bass, you play percussion, you sing like the wind, you produce, you compose. where does it come from?
You know, when I first started, because I mean, yeah, I played, my dad gave me my first drum kit when I was 5. He had one of those baby kits. And then I started to learn the cornet in primary school because somebody wanted to teach us brass instruments. My next door neighbor had a cornet, a spare cornet, a really rusty old thing. And then I progressed on to the F horn and then the baritone euphonium. And then the tuba, because my teacher needed a tuba player for school.
What is the F horn?
The F horn is like a euphonium, but smaller.
Okay.
You know, euphonium. So the euphonium is like a smaller tuba.
Oh, right.
So the F horn is a smaller thing to that, basically. Well, because I played in a brass band in Canterbury, the Canterbury brass band. That's why I first played drums, and then I played the baritone.
Can you still do it?
No,
No?
Don't ask me to play nothing now. I remember the scales. But so yeah, I did that, and then playing in the youth orchestra as well from I was 12 years old. The brass bands, the choirs, all this stuff then kind of started to make sense to me in terms of making music. And what I used to do is back in the day with the cassettes, look it up, kids, cassettes, Google it, it might be in museums. And we used to have I used to record, say, the beat on one, and then play that back and record on the other one. You know what I mean? So
by 4th generation, it was just shh.
Yeah, exactly. And then my dad bought me my first multi-track tape recorder, cassette recorder.
Fostex?
I think, no, it was Tascam.
Tascam, yeah.
It was definitely a Tascam. Then I was like writing songs, but I didn't find anybody to sing them. So then I started to sing the songs myself. I didn't like my vocals. When I'm listening back to it, my first single I hated. It was called Mr. Postman, and I hated performing this thing. It was at the same time as 5 Star. I remember like singing when 5 Star were in the same event, but I'd be after them. So they all wanted to see 5 Star. When I came on stage, everybody left the room. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
And then plus I'm singing a song I didn't like. So I said to myself, from then, if I'm going to make music, I have to make music that I like, because you have to sing this forever and ever, amen. You know what I mean? So it's best to make something that you like doing. So I've stuck to that, and I pretty much love every single song that I make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to just, dive a little bit into it also for my benefits, because I remember we had conversation about vibrato and keeping the note long, and I was commenting on the way you were singing, and you said, because it's important that you keep your notes long.
Yes.
That you establish the pitch and then you keep it running.
Yeah.
What is that about?
I don't know. I don't know where I got that from. It just, it's, listen to other people sing. I mean, you listen to Dennis Brown, John Holt, or jazz singers like King Pleasure. They seem to keep the note going, and you can change the vibrato. You'll use the vibrato at the end of the note. My daughter seems to be, doing so amazingly well at this. She's 17. Sounds way better than I did at that point. She sounds way better than me now, but she sings to the end of the note because she sees the value of that. Do you know what I mean? Rather than doing short things, and it just makes a difference to me.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
And also analyzing your vibrato, you already have like a great speaking voice, obviously, but then there's this vibrato, which I think that the way you do the vibrato is
yes.
You got that thing.
Yeah.
So because I believe that your vibrato tends to go up a little bit like a guitar.
Sure.
You can't go you can't go like that on a guitar. You can only go up.
Yeah, it's just a little light touch. That's all you need. You know what I mean? And plus, if you're doing a long note, and if you do it straight, at the end, that adds something to it. Was this the result of like observation, study? Because for me, music is a lot that. Yeah.
Was that the same for you? Like you analyzed it?
Yeah, it's just practice. If I'm writing the songs as well, it depends what songs you're singing to.
Because you do use a lot of falsetto, you use a lot of mid-tones, and you can go low like nobody's business, like shakes the recording when you go there, right?
Yeah.
What note can you sing, by the way? Have you ever tested
I don't know.
Shut up! You're not gonna go here.
If you get me in the morning, I will go even lower.
This is sorcery. This is a B, low B.
Yeah, so it is bass. It is bass. But you know, my voice dropped when I was, I think, 13. I remember singing in choir, but I was in the bass section when I was that.
When it
young.
changed.
Yeah, in fact, in primary school, they had to give me my own part to sing because I couldn't sing what the kids were singing. I was singing down there already because my dad's got a very bassy voice as well.
Oh, so it's in the DNA.
Yeah.
I
for
see.
sure,
I see.
For sure.
Speaking of bass, you're a proficient bass player.
I do what I can. You know?
I mean, I think that, that's for what I heard. I mean, you're full of surprises, but for what I heard, I mean, you not only have a sound, you're confident, and you know, is that another instrument you picked up along the way, or?
Yeah, you know, I was a big fan of, I still am, a big fan of Level 42. And Mark King, I mean, everybody was, you know. Listen, man, and my mum was so gorgeous. She took me to at least 2 Level 42 concerts when I was like 14, 15. So yeah, I loved the bass, and I was listening to Level 42, trying to copy the bass. Didn't have a bass. When I was living in Canterbury, there was a music shop. I remember it had everything in there. All different kinds of basses and stuff. People used to go in there and jam. And I was thinking, how are they selling any instruments? Because people just used to go and play and then walk out. Well, that was the only way I could practice, was to go into that shop and then practice what I could. And then finally, my dad bought me my first bass. It was a West Tone. When I was 15. To the group.
So you started by slapping, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Me too.
Slapping was a big thing, yeah, you too.
Me too, same story. I was going to shops and I was wondering, about, of course, Level 42. I think that at the time I was also listening to, Earth, Wind and Fire and all that.
Right.
And
Stanley Clarke. Right.
For sure.
There's another one was Bunny Brunel. Do you remember who that is?
Oh, yeah.
That was very, very niche, but I remember listening to that at school. It was, but that was more fretless.
Yeah.
As well. And Pino Palladino. As well. I copied Pino. I think he did that with Paul Young. As well. And I told him that, man, you know what I mean? So, and I've been blessed enough to work with him.
You have worked with him?
Oh, he plays on the new version of There's Nothing Like This. We wrote a song together called Get It Together as well. Yeah. Listen, I've been very blessed in my lifetime.
I told you he's a man full of surprises. I did tell you that. So on There's Nothing Like This.
There's nothing like this. There's nothing like this.
You played the keys.
I play the drums, the bass, the keys. Yeah, that's me.
The drum is you.
Yeah, it's me on everything, apart from the guitar.
It's important to remember that the time when you recorded this, there was no digital stuff. It's either you played a tempo or you wouldn't.
Yeah, there would have been. Well, there was a click, but there
was a click.
It was the tape. Yeah,
it was the tape.
Yeah.
So
multi-track, 2-inch tape. No.
I know what we've done here.
So I basically went through my dad's record collection. I found an album by a band called Ohio Players, and the album's called Skin Tight. On there is a song called Heaven Must Be Like This, and this song blew my mind. So imagine this is 89, everything is acid, and rapper just started, people using samplers, synthesizers and stuff. This song is bass, drums, keys, and a whole string section. You know what I mean? It's all organic. And I was like, why is nobody making this kind of music? You know what I mean? So
that's what I asked myself too, by the way, at the time.
So then, I just sat down and started writing this. When you hear this, when you hear that song, you hear where I got the idea for There's Nothing Like This. I would always say the bass line, I just simplified the bass line basically, because what they did, it was just something magnanimous. D'Angelo did a version of it as well. It's that good. Yeah. It was one of those light bulb moments, because as well, I was trying to put an album together at the time. My dad said, right, we need to do an album. And I'd had all these songs, but I hadn't actually written that, the one. And then I made a cassette of this thing, repeated it over and over again, and then I never got bored of listening to it. Then I played it to my dad, and his colleagues didn't get bored of listening to it. So we thought, there's something in this song, and then the rest is history.
some people who follow the channel from the United States may not know, but there is such a thing in the United Kingdom as an MBE. And this means that you at some point had to go to the Royal Palace.
I had to go to Buckingham Palace to accept the, so it's the MBE. It's the Member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. And there's different stages. There's member, there's officer, there's commander, and then the top one is the sir you get, or the dame. And it's presented by a member of the royal family. I was supposed to be presented by the Queen, but she was ill, so Prince Charles, as he was then, presented mine then. And it's for services to music.
Wow.
Yeah, so very proud of that. Because I'm not mainstream. I don't get a lot of attention from the other awards and stuff like that. So to be recognized in that form was quite a big deal, and a big deal for my family too.
Yeah.
So very proud of that.
Wow, that's really incredible. Yeah, I mean, because I think one of the reasons why I like this country, because this country values music a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's controversial in terms of, because they talk about it's the empire, and not everybody's fans of the royal family. But listen, they're giving me my props. They're giving me my flowers. I think I've earned this. You know what I mean? So I'm willing to accept it. So that's my stance as well. And my parents were totally behind it, and they're so Rasta. You know what I mean? They're proper Rastafarians, but they were totally behind me accepting the award. So as long as they were cool, I was going to be cool.
So both of your parents are Rastafarians?
Yes, yeah. They live in Ghana now. They're from Jamaica, but they live in Ghana.
Do you see them often? I
do. I just saw them a few months ago. My dad just turned 80 as well. So it's a big year this year. 2025. It's a big number, man.
Yeah.
I did this, I was at the Jazz FM Awards, and it was like the Jazz FM Awards 2025. And I was just thinking of that number. It's a big number. Yeah, you know what I mean? We've come a long way.
I mean, if I think about 2001 A Space Odyssey, like when I was a kid, that was, the 2000, I know. 2000.
We've just surpassed that. And I noticed you got the Ray-Bans on. I see that. Yeah. So I'm looking to get some of them myself. Yeah. But those, you know what I mean? This is where we are now. The AI thing is a reality. Yeah. What those robots and things? Yeah. I mean, the AI managing to split everything into stems. Yeah. That's just incredible, right?
Yeah. I am so excited. I think that there is not a more interesting time to be alive and artists. Because seriously, this thing is incredible. And I also understand, the concerns of it, because there are always concerns. But
absolutely.
I always give this example, when people say, hey, why you use AI, that's the bad thing, and etc.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I partially agree, but people were bad-mouthing drum machines because they were gonna kill drummers, sampler because, hey, you're not composing, you're actually...
People are afraid of the unknown, you know what I mean? It's especially that. I think, there was a time, remember they were saying home taping was killing music? Yeah. So you're supposed to use the studios rather than do your stuff at home. I mean, we have to get over these things. Yeah. I put out a video using AI for Can We Go Out, which is on the album.
Can we go out again, baby, again.
And the lady that did that has had so much flack for that. But I just look at it as another piece of art. Yeah. It's like CGI. CGI is another thing that replaced a bunch of people as well. And it's experimental as well. And it's not like we're just going to keep to that. But it's an interesting time, definitely.
Whilst you were talking about the royal family and recognition and success, you always come to my mind as an artist who managed to keep his integrity.
Yeah.
What happened to you in 1994, was it? Nothing Like This was 94, what was it?
No, that was 1990.
1990, 1990, yeah. A lot of people would have been tempted of going down the route of easy pop music that sells. How did you keep your integrity intact?
I'm just stubborn that way. I'm always experimenting. I do what I like to do. I can't just do music for the sake of it. I mean, you had people telling me, "Oh, right, you need to make this kind of music because this DJ is going to be playing, and they will get you music played." I'm like, that's not how you make music. That's not how you create stuff. I'm expressing myself here. You understand? I'm not doing something to order. I'm doing it because I feel to do it. You know, and when I make albums, it does take a while to put it all together because I see everything like a jigsaw puzzle, and everything has to fit. You know what I mean? And then once it's all fit and all ready, then we're ready to go. But not before it's time. And some of those songs, I mean, on this album, Lovey Dovey, me and my brother started writing that in 2007, which means we passed over The Man and Loving Beats before it came to this album, which we thought then it'd be the right time to put it out. It's like, you make the wine, we leave it in the cellar till it's the right time to drink it.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know any other way of making music, you know? Like I said, there's so many different people that I worked with on this album, but it was the right space, right time. Met J. Rue the Damager at Cork Jazz Festival, and we really got on, you know what I mean? And I was like, wow, we got this beat, you want to come and rap on it? Because I've been speaking to Q-Tip, Pharoah Monch as well, Common, you know what I mean? Those dudes, I mean, fantastic, but just the right space, right time didn't work out, but it did with J. Rue. You know what I mean? So I'm just grateful for any inspiration, any contact, and when it comes to the creation of stuff, you know, you just gotta be thankful. And still having that fire in my belly. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? I can see when you perform as well. You know what I mean? You're really enjoying it. Yeah. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's all we're supposed to be caring about. And that people are going to be listening to us are getting the same enjoyment out of it as well.
There is one lesson that I think you taught us all when it was pandemic. I've said this thing before. So all of a sudden, I mean, I was doing a lot of gigs. You are a living gig. That's how you spend most of your time,
right?
Traveling and doing gigs. So pandemic hits.
No gigs. But then I learned from you see, because then I think it was the MU, the Musicians Union, or PRS that gave musicians a grant. An allowance. And I used that to buy 2 GoPro cameras and a mixer, and then I had to learn how to stream so that you're not just doing it so the music's thrown out there, you're plugged in directly. All that stuff I had to learn very quickly.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about the stuff at the time.
Right, that's it, yeah. You told me, you give me instructions on what to get and how it works, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm grateful for that, thank you so much. But we had to learn because we got to feed the kids, you know what I mean? Still,
we have families, and one thing that you did that made us all warm inside is that you started doing gigs serenading. Remember that thing?
Yeah.
You know, you went
the doorstep serenade.
The doorstep serenade. So you invented this idea where you showed up with your boombox in front of somebody's girlfriend, and you would serenade them at a safe distance, and give a show, put some cameras there, and share it with everyone else. Now, not only that is an amazing lesson in humility, it's a great lesson in resourcefulness.
Absolutely.
And this is the thing, you know, people like us, we're not spring chickens, right? We've been around the block a couple of times. The one thing that we know is that we want to get to the next gig and we want to make the next buck because we want to be a musician one more day.
Absolutely.
No matter how you find
how you do it, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a show off at heart. So however I get to show off, you know, it works. And if I get paid, even better. You know what I mean? And that kind of just started off by accident because that was the request that somebody had for their parents' anniversary, and then somebody else saw that and they were like, "Oh, can we do it?" You know, and it just kept going. So
you know, that was a great lesson. You know, when I was watching that on Facebook, I was going, "That's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it." You know, and I kind of have this. There is a pandemic moment, fearfulness of AI, and I understand that. But again, when there is something that changes dramatically, I think that you can choose to be on the losing side of it or on the winning side of it.
Yeah.
So as a musician, I always suggest that people go to the winning side of it.
Absolutely. Do what you have to do to keep the thing going. It's like if you're doing a gig and the electricity goes off.
Yeah.
What do?
Drums and
Do
vocals.
you stop or what? Do you carry on?
Carry on.
You just carry on. Absolutely, that's the thing. And you could tell the metal of someone, how they respond to something like that.
And people are going to remember that moment. Remember when the light went up and the drummer and the vocals started doing it because they were the only acoustic instrument? That was the best moment of the show.
Right.
Isn't
exactly.
that?
Exactly.
Fantastic. Dude, I don't want this to end, but I know that you're limited.
My time is limited, yeah. Well, we can do it again another time, you know what I mean? So, because I definitely want to come back and play some of these instruments as well, you know.
Plus, you said that you have the sound that you need to recreate the Prophet 5.
I'm guessing that's what it was. It's, the sounds that I used for Should Have Known Better with Misha Paris.
I should have known to show you that I needed you.
Those are the ones that, cause it was down at Island Studios.
In Chiswick, yeah.
Chiswick, yeah.
Of course, Island Records.
Yeah.
Bob Marley recorded there everything.
He did?
You don't know that?
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Well, maybe that's why the tune came out like it did. That's just crazy. But I'm sure you've got something in there that we did.
Well, at this point, we have another backing track, which is Sunshine. Why don't we do that?
All right.
Yeah.
Is it all lined up like it was before?
I guess so. Let's call some help.
Ask the guy. This is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
I'll have 2. Is this like 10 grand for this?
Yeah, almost. This version, I think it's 14 because it's got the effects and everything.
Oh, that doesn't come as standard.
That doesn't come as standard now.
Wow. So is it not? It's not the bell like it is in the old roads.
It is. Exactly. There's the tines, hammers, everything.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So all you need to do is hit that button again. Yeah,
do
baby.
that thing.
My life with the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine. Sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine. Sunshine. Folks get down in the sunshine. I wanna hear you say sunshine. Folks get brown in the sunshine. Just peace and things and flowers. Just beats and things and flowers. Just beats and things and flowers. Yeah. Just beats and things and flowers. Yeah. My life in the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine. Sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine. Folks get down in the. I wanna hear you say sunshine. folks get brown in the what I'm feeling in the sunshine. Feel what I'm feeling, yeah, in the sunshine. I said do what I'm doing, yeah, in the sunshine. I said do what I'm doing, well, baby, in the sunshine. Yeah.
All right.